Ukraine, a country grappling with war and conflict, recently faced another catastrophic event, the destruction of the Novakhovka Dam. In just one day, the dam's failure unleashed a torrent of water downstream, inundating towns, villages, and vast areas of farmland. The disaster has resulted in significant challenges for the people living in the affected region, exacerbating their already difficult circumstances due to the ongoing war and occupation. This video delves into the true cost of Ukraine's dam disaster, exploring the immediate and long-term impacts on the environment, infrastructure, and the lives of the people. The unleashed deluge. The collapse of the Novakhovka Dam resulted in an unprecedented deluge, releasing nearly 4.5 cubic miles of water into the lower Dnipro River. The floodwaters engulfed 77 towns and villages, causing widespread destruction and despair. Around 230 square miles of land were submerged, leaving thousands of people homeless and facing an uncertain future. Relief efforts were initiated to provide aid and support to the affected communities in their time of need. The tragedy brought forth a global display of solidarity and compassion. Humanitarian crisis in the wake of disaster. In the aftermath of the destroyed dam, war-torn communities downstream face overwhelming challenges as they attempt to rebuild their shattered lives. Having endured the horrors of occupation and relentless shelling, they now must rebuild their homes, livelihoods, and sense of security. Displaced families struggle to find a new beginning, with essential resources becoming scarce. Contaminated water sources pose health risks, and the absence of electricity adds to their hardships. Once thriving farmlands and markets are now submerged and ravaged, leading to food scarcity and hunger. The burden of rebuilding amid such devastation leaves them weary and fatigued. Left bank and right bank. Differing tragedies. The left bank, controlled by Russia, suffered profoundly from the disaster. Satellite images before and after the catastrophe paint a grim picture of devastation. Reports of people being left to fend for themselves and dozens of missing individuals on both sides of the river add to the sorrowful tale. As if this weren't enough, the floodwaters submerged minefields that Russian occupiers had laid before their retreat from the right bank of the Dnipro, posing a significant risk to those returning to their homes and those involved in cleanup operations. Agricultural woes, from flood to drought. The Novakhovka Dam had been the lifeline for the surrounding farmlands, providing water through a network of canals. Initially, the threat to crops was from flooding, but the greater concern now is drought. The water level in the Kakhovka Reservoir has dropped below the critical point, ceasing the flow of water into irrigation canals. Ukraine heavily relies on agriculture, and the flooding has already caused substantial damage to productive farmlands. In the long term, these areas could transform into deserts, further exacerbating food insecurity in the region. The situation could extend to the Russian-controlled Crimea, which depends on water from the same canal network. Nuclear power plant at risk. Beyond agriculture, the dam's destruction has implications for the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant, one of Europe's largest nuclear facilities. The power plant requires a continuous water supply to cool its 6 reactors, even when they are in shutdown mode. An artificial lake, fed by the shrinking reservoir, serves this purpose. While the International Atomic Energy Agency has stated that there is no immediate critical threat to the plant, the war-torn region's uncertainty poses potential risks. Any loss of water or power for the plant's pumps could lead to a disastrous meltdown, an environmental catastrophe on par with Chernobyl. Ukrainian authorities have dubbed the dam disaster the worst environmental catastrophe since the infamous Chernobyl nuclear disaster. The affected area was once home to nature reserves and rare animal species, but now lies in ruins. Countless dead fish and animals litter the shrinking shores of the reservoir, and even parts of people's homes have washed up on the shores of the Black Sea, miles away from where they once stood. The ecological damage will leave lasting scars on the environment for years to come. Impact on the war and counteroffensive. The destruction of the Novakhovka Dam has further complicated Ukraine's situation, especially regarding the ongoing war and the long-awaited counteroffensive. The disaster has hindered Ukraine's ability to launch an effective strike south of the Dnipro. The diversion of resources and attention to managing the humanitarian disaster has shifted the focus away from military operations, adding to the challenges faced by Ukrainian forces. Conclusion: the destruction of the Novakhovka Dam in Ukraine has had far-reaching consequences, creating a multifaceted humanitarian crisis that exacerbates the challenges already faced by war-affected communities. As the world watches, the resilience of the affected communities and the assistance provided by the global community will determine how this tragic event shapes the future of the region and its people. Thank you for watching. If you found this video informative, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more insightful content. Share this video with others who might be interested. And let's raise awareness about the true cost of Ukraine's dam disaster. Remember, together, we can make a difference. See you in the next video.